A great anime, or any show for that matter, is incomplete without a role model. Someone who, despite everything being stacked against them and everyone looking down upon them, becomes someone who everyone can look up to. Someone who is calm, confident in their abilities, and becomes an inspiration even for the main character. And that is really saying something when the main character is someone like Naruto. The role model I am talking about here is Rock Lee. This scrawny looking skinny kid who looks like he can barely fight, and even in the anime he cannot use any ninjutsu or genjutsu, which is basically the magic system of Naruto. Understand this, the one thing that makes the show unique, and he cannot use it. One of the things that I realized from this is that Rock Lee is basically us. He is what would happen if someone from our world landed in Naruto's world. Taijutsu is basically normal fighting, and that is all that Lee knows. Ninjutsu and genjutsu, which are the magic of Naruto world, is something that he cannot even use. He does not even have the ability to use it. He serves as proof that there are normal people in the Naruto world too. Not everyone is born to be a shinobi. There are people who do not have the ability to achieve this. Yet, Rock Lee dreams of being a ninja. Naruto, for all his weaknesses, has the abilities to become Hokage someday. He has a nine-tailed fox chakra, and also he is a descendant of the Sage of Six Paths. Rock Lee, on the other hand, has no abilities for ninjutsu or genjutsu, and hence his dream is even more far-fetched. The character is very well served right from the introduction. Imagine this, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura are heading for the Chunin exam hall. Rock Lee shows up and challenges Sasuke, who is considered to be one of the strongest ninjas at the exam, despite the fact that he lost to Haku and was saved by Naruto. Naruto is not considered to be a threat at this point, even though he should be. When Lee challenges Sasuke, Sakura says that they should not fight as they'll be late for the exam. Sasuke shrugs her off and says that it will only take 5 seconds for him to defeat Lee. Sasuke then proceeds to get his ass royally whooped by Lee. This is the first indication of Lee's immense power. And also, the fact that this is basically what Sasuke's story is for the entirety of Naruto. He thinks he is stronger than Haku and gets defeated by him. Then Naruto comes in and saves him. He thinks he is stronger than Orochimaru but gets defeated by him, and then Naruto comes and saves him. He thinks he is stronger than Gaara but gets defeated by him, and then Naruto comes in and saves him. So basically all that Sasuke does is lose. Even in this scenario, he basically loses to Lee and is saved by Guy Sensei. Lee still tells Team 7 that he is not the strongest ninja there. He has confidence in his abilities but knows that he can always improve. Another character with an amazing introduction is Mirio Togata, aka Lemillion, from My Hero Academia. He is introduced as someone with a very strong quirk who goes on to defeat the entirety of Class 1A. Well, all of them except Bakugo and Todoroki, which means almost none of them, I guess, because those two are the main parts of Class 1A. Wait, they still had Deku, so it counts as win. Okay, we've seen all these kids go up against the League of Villains multiple times and come out on top. However, this random ass dude shows up and tells them that he wants to challenge all of them and then wins against them. The first immediate thought in our mind is, how strong is his quirk? And that, in part, is due to the structuring of quirks in My Hero Academia. Nobody can become a strong hero without having a strong quirk. There is no place for hard work in the world of My Hero Academia. Do you think that somebody like Shoto Todoroki had to work hard to gain control over his quirk? No, he was born with a strong quirk. Even Deku, who we see working hard all the time and who will supposedly become the world's #1 hero at the end of the show, would not even become a hero if it was not for All Might giving his powers to him. If he was still a quirkless kid, there is no chance for him in this universe. There is no such thing as training your ass off and becoming a hero. There is only strong quirks. There is no place for someone like Rock Lee in this universe. But then, what is this video about? Well, as I said before, you need a strong quirk to become a strong hero. And Mirio Togata, in essence, has the strongest quirk in all of My Hero Academia. But then, he does not. His quirk is not as great as it is made out to be. While his quirk is activated, he cannot breathe. And I don't care what universe you are from, not being able to breathe is a major problem. A hero, or I guess a student, because the students do more work than the heroes on this show, who really does have a strong work, is Tamaki Amajiki, aka Sun Eater, from the Big 3. I know he might have to eat some weird shit, but in terms of quirks, he has one of the strongest. However, he is held back by his low self-esteem. This is an area in which Mirio is the stronger character. They both complement each other wonderfully, and both of them are a treat to watch together. Lemillion took what was given to him, worked hard, and became so strong that Aizawa considers him to be the next number one hero. Kind of reminds you of Rock Lee, doesn't it? But then again, Rock Lee never became number one. His struggle is ongoing, unless you are considering Drunken Fist Lee. That guy is the true OP. Anyway, the fact that Lee is always working hard and trying to improve himself is what makes him so relatable. Now I would like to talk about the other similarity between these two characters. They both lost. But in essence, that is what made their characters special. Loss is always a part of life, and for the first time in a world filled with superheroes and ninjas, the characters felt human. Not that Deku and Naruto are not relatable, but they always win. When it comes to fights, there's no one that can beat them. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but it can get very repetitive. I mean, Deku somehow uses 1,000,000% of his power. I don't know how that works. He couldn't use 8% before, and now just because he has to protect someone, he can use 1,000,000% of it? That somehow doesn't make sense. Even in this very scenario, I did not care much about the Deku versus overall fight. Sure, it was wonderfully animated and overall a great fight, but for once, Deku was not the standout hero. Mirio, despite his loss, was a true hero, more so than Deku ever could be in this scenario. He carried on the torch from All Might. All Might, in his last fight against All for One, showed us what it truly meant to be the symbol of peace. And now Mirio in this fight showed us what it truly means to be a hero. Mirio did not hesitate in the slightest, even though he knew that he would lose everything that he had worked so hard for. He did it with a smile on his face so that the other person would not give in to the fear. If that is not what it truly means to be a hero, then I don't know what is. Even during the last fight between Deku and Overhaul, Mirio's cape is what Eri latches onto. Lemillion promised to be her hero, and that is what he was until the very end. Now Rock Lee, on the other hand, is on a mission to prove himself. There is a scene where he stops Naruto from attacking Neji and tells him about the difference that exists between people with natural talent and hard workers like him. This is clear foreshadowing for the Neji vs Naruto fight and also for the Rock Lee vs Gaara fight. However, I think that this is Rock Lee's mentality in general. Everyone who can use ninjutsu or genjutsu is someone who has natural talent that he doesn't have. He always has to work harder than them to even get on their level. He knows that he might never reach their level, but that is not going to stop him. He is not going to give up. The actual fight between Lee and Gaara starts off in a pretty normal fashion, with Lee throwing a few punches and Gaara brushing them off easily. After this, Lee does a virtual mic drop and removes his weights for the first time since he started his training. Yes, that's right. When he absolutely destroyed Sasuke, he was wearing weights. When they got to the Forest of Death, he was wearing weights. And now Gai Sensei finally gave him permission to remove the training weights. He quite literally flexes on everyone with his speed. No one can match his speed, and everyone is amazed by it. Lee shows us that his method of becoming strong is as good as anyone else's. He proves to us that power comes from within. Also, he gave us one of the most important lessons in OG Naruto. All of the hard work really does not matter if you do not believe in yourself. Lee proved beyond a doubt that he is one of the top dogs. His inability to use ninjutsu or genjutsu is not something that will hold him back. He will just become the strongest taijutsu master. This is also the first time that Gaara felt fear. He had not seen anyone get past his Shan shield, but Lee managed to do that and also managed to push him back to a certain extent. He served as an inspiration for Naruto and also played a major part in Gaara turning over a new leaf. In Mirio's case, he literally defeats Overhaul. Deku and a bunch of other heroes come together to defeat Overhaul. But, as Chisaki himself admitted, Mirio defeated him. He defeated him and his 3 Goonies. Both Rock Lee and Mirio continue to fight even after they lose. Lee because he just does not know when to quit, and Mirio because his job is not yet done. Both these characters have similar but not the same stories. Mirio Togata's story is one of loss, while Rock Lee's story is one of recovery. Mirio wanted to save 1,000,000 people, while Rock Lee wanted to prove himself to 1,000,000 people, I guess. Rock Lee always strived to become the strongest, whereas Mirio did become the strongest. The only reason he lost this fight was because he was protecting Eerie. Even after he lost his powers, he did not lose sight of his purpose. He continued to fight until the other heroes came there and took on Overhaul. Despite these differences, both these characters showed us that hard work, dedication, and faith in one's own abilities can help you overcome any weakness. In Rock Lee's own words, a hero is not one that never fails. He is one that gets up again and again, never losing sight of his dreams. Thank you for watching till the very end. If you like this video, then let us know by hitting the like button. What else did you learn from these two characters and how did you find them relatable? Let us know in the comments below. And also, subscribe to StageRage for more amazing content.